In the frozen silence outside Dnipro, a single Ukrainian strike team prepares to rewrite the course of the war. A Russian convoy, massive, armored, and carrying enough firepower to fuel Moscow's southern offensive, pushes confidently into the night. But what these soldiers don't know is that they're driving straight into a trap. In less than 2 hours, what began as a lifeline for Russia will be nothing more than flames, wreckage, and twisted steel scattered across a frozen highway. This isn't NATO. This isn't overwhelming air power. This is just a handful of Ukrainian soldiers armed with planning, patience, and precision. And tonight they will prove to the world that sometimes a small team with iron resolve can cripple a superpower. If you want more deep dives into battlefield strategy and modern military operations, subscribe now, because what you're about to see is nothing short of legendary. At 1:50 a.m., the winter chill had settled hard over the industrial outskirts of Dnipro. The air bit. At -12 degrees Celsius, frost clung to every surface, and each soldier's breath hung like mist in the darkness. Fingers stiffened inside thick gloves, rifles felt icy to the touch, and boots cracked against the frozen snow. Captain Oleksiy Bondarenko crouched in the shadow of a ruined warehouse, binoculars pressed to his eyes. In the distance, faint headlights pierced the horizon. The Russian convoy. Behind him, 24 Ukrainian operatives waited in complete silence. Every muscle coiled, every heartbeat synchronized, every mind fixed on a single mission: destroy the convoy, disrupt the offensive, protect their homes. Above, a surveillance drone hovered silently. Its infrared feed glowed faintly on Oleksiy's tablet, mapping the Russian column with eerie precision. Heat signatures lit up each vehicle, allowing the team to anticipate every move before the enemy even knew they were being watched. For most observers, this was just another convoy. But for these Ukrainians, it was the target of a lifetime. This was no ordinary mission. Weeks of reconnaissance had gone into the planning. Satellite images, intercepted communications, informants embedded in nearby villages. The team had studied every truck, every fuel tanker, every armored carrier. They knew the convoy's timing, its formation, even the rhythm of its drivers' rest stops. But knowledge wasn't enough. The challenge was timing. Strike too early and half the convoy could escape. Wait too long and the soldiers would freeze in position, risking discovery. "All units, confirm," Oleksiy whispered into his radio. One by one, quiet affirmations came back. Snipers Wolf and Viper lay 2 kilometers away, scopes locked, wind measured, distance calibrated. RPG teams. Hawk and Bear steadied their weapons, already locked onto target Alpha, the lead. Fuel tanker and Hawkeye, the drone operator, monitored every movement from above, the convoy's path, glowing across his screen like prey marked by a hunter. The convoy was minutes away, unaware but approaching fast. All pieces were in place. The hunters were ready. Meanwhile, inside the lead vehicle, Colonel Sergei Petrov sat in tense silence. The heater roared, but sweat trickled down his temple. Around him, soldiers shifted in armored cabins, adjusting rifles and magazines, pale faces lit by flickering dashboard lights. The convoy stretched endlessly: 180 tons of ammunition, 2,800 tank shells, 45 Grad rocket launchers, 12 armored trucks, and 3 massive fuel tankers carrying 180,000 liters of diesel. Petrov knew the importance of this mission. He reminded his troops to maintain spacing, to stay alert. But what he didn't know, what none of them knew, was that every move had already been anticipated. The enemy was waiting. Time stretched painfully slow for Oleksiy's men. The cold seeped into their bones, frost coated their rifles. Gloves stiffened, but the weight pressing on them wasn't just the temperature, it was the responsibility of the moment. They had trained for this. Every night exercise in the snow, every rehearsal of ambush drills, every risk, every contingency, every escape route, it had all led to this night. And then headlights appeared, dim at first, growing brighter. Engines hummed low against the snow. To an untrained eye, it was routine. To Oleksiy and his team, it was a target worth millions. He raised his hand in silent signal. Wolf exhaled. Viper's crosshairs tracked. Hawk and Bear steadied their RPGs. The convoy rolled into the kill zone. A convoy too large to stop with one strike, coordinated precision, the order was given. At 2:25 a.m., the night erupted. Claymore mines detonated with a thunderous roar, hurling jagged steel into the lead armored vehicle. The truck lurched violently, crashing into a ditch. Sparks showered the icy road. Almost instantly, Hawk squeezed the trigger. His RPG roared through the darkness, striking. Target Alpha. The fuel tanker ignited in a massive fireball, flames climbing 30 meters high. The shockwave rippled through the frozen air, shaking branches and flattening snowdrifts. Bear fired his own rocket, slamming into a Grad launcher. The explosion ripped metal apart, scattering debris across the highway. Panic. Russian radios screamed. Soldiers stumbled from their trucks, weapons raised, but snipers Wolf and Viper cut them down before they could fire. PKM gunners swept the flanks, mowing down reinforcements. The Russians tried to regroup. Every attempt met with fire, steel, and silence. The highway descended into chaos. Smoke poured into the sky. Flames reflected in soldiers. Terrified eyes. Vehicles reversed blindly, colliding, clogging the road. Another RPG struck. Another explosion ripped through the night. A Grad launcher cooked off, its rocket spiraling wildly into the air before detonating. A fuel tanker tried to reverse. Too late. Tracers pierced its fuel line, igniting diesel in a towering inferno. From above, Hawkeye's drone mapped every movement. Target Beta, Alexei ordered. Snipers shifted, rockets fired, each strike hit with surgical precision. By 3:30 a.m., nearly two-thirds of the convoy was burning wreckage. Ammunition trucks, cooked off like fireworks. The highway glowed orange, fire consuming the frozen road. Russia's southern offensive needed this convoy. By the hour's end, most of it was gone. Colonel Petrov tried to restore order. He barked into his radio, voice drowned by explosions. His soldiers fired wildly into the night. Cord heavy machine guns spat tracer rounds, lighting up the dark sky. But it was futile. Every action had been anticipated. Every counter was neutralized. Snipers silenced gunners. RPGs pierced armor. Mines detonated beneath wheels. The convoy wasn't just under attack, it was trapped inside a perfectly constructed kill zone. Another fuel truck ignited. Flames spread to nearby vehicles. Explosions thundered one after another. Another echoing across the frozen fields. Soldiers screamed. Radios dissolved into static. By 4 a.m., the convoy was collapsing. Could the convoy survive at all? The Ukrainians pressed forward with relentless coordination. The battlefield was a corridor of fire. Ammunition detonated in bursts of thunder. Trucks twisted into molten steel. Grad launchers melted into unrecognizable shapes. Petrov's command vehicle flickered with warning lights. His men broke ranks, fleeing, abandoning their vehicles. But even retreat was suicide. Snipers picked them off. Mines exploded beneath their boots. At 4:15 a.m., it was over. More than 180 tons of ammunition, fuel, and supplies destroyed. Over $25 million in material gone. An entire offensive delayed for weeks. As the first light of dawn broke, the battlefield revealed itself, a graveyard of steel. Trucks lay, overturned and charred. Flames licked at wreckage. Smoke coiled into the pale morning sky. The few Russian survivors tried to salvage weapons and supplies, but the damage was irreversible. Confidence shattered. Morale broken. Logistics crippled. Meanwhile, Alexei and his men melted back into the forest. Their faces were blackened with soot, their eyes bright with adrenaline. Not one of them spoke of glory. They spoke of survival, of families waiting in nearby towns, of villages that for now would be safe. For Ukraine, it was more than a tactical victory. It was proof that courage, precision, and intelligence could rewrite the balance of war. For Russia, it was humiliation, a night of fire, chaos, and lessons learned too late. Tonight, a convoy meant to crush Ukraine was erased in hours. What should history call this operation? Drop your best name in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell, because the next battlefield breakdown is coming and you won't want to miss it.